there we have it. So we are here in Bannockburn, and this is Carl J. Claridge of the I Would Walk 500 Miles group. We're on day 16 now. It's been quite a journey. We have just under 1 week left to go, and I thought it would be a good time to share a few thoughts about the week we've had, about what we've been doing, what we're hoping to achieve, or more specifically, what it means to me personally. Tricky to say. It's a lot of thoughts and a lot of emotions involved in the whole thing. It's certainly a grand endeavor, and I think the symbolism of what we're doing is as relevant as the actual physical piece of it. Attempting to encourage people to think about the idea of independence, motivating people towards such a cause is it's an interesting prospect. At the end of the day, people will decide what they wish to do. And back in the last referendum, I was still living in England. I was just happy that Scotland finally had the choice and the opportunity to vote on something that they'd never really been given an option about. It did not turn out to be quite like that at all, due to misappropriated votes and misinformation in the general media. The Scottish people never really had the opportunity to have a fair idea of the true nature of the situation, and their votes were not properly and accurately recorded. When we see what's happening in the world in general, specifically in England, which is now called Great Britain, I think it's fair to say that things are not going too well. Certainly not for the majority of the people. The Tories, with their elitist system, are doing very well, thank you, but it's not quite the same for everybody else. You have the hopefuls that want to achieve a similar status, which is absolutely fine. I've nothing against people being successful, but not at the expense of everybody else. A lot of the social and economic decisions that have been made, issues such as immigration, the situation of manufacture, stuff like that, it's not really being sensibly dealt with. And Scotland has a genuine possibility to actually show the world how this can be done properly. So I would like Scotland to have a fair shot. I would like Scotland to be able to have a fair shot at the chance of a democratic and free election, a fair election, where there will be no misappropriation of votes, and that the will of the people will be seen. Now, I think such is the general political situation. But personally, I would be very happy if that resulted in a free and independent Republic of Scotland, despite the fact that I was born in London and at least for the first 20 odd years of my life consider myself to be a British patriot. But one has to recognise that certain forms of behaviour cannot be tolerated no matter where they're being perpetuated from. So let's just hope that let's just hope that this actually leads to something. Personally, with regards to the group and what we've been doing, it's been relentless. It's a hard piece of work every day, getting up very early, tending to the feet, and then going out and walking at least 25 miles. But nobody said it would be easy, and if it was easy, it wouldn't be an achievement. We're a small group of people. We happy few, but we've gotten to know each other and work very well together. The dynamic of any such group, particularly because none of us are particularly young, makes it interesting. But then that's almost representative of what it is that Scotland is going to be going through. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. And for me personally, I had a lot of ideas of what I was going to do. I thought I'd have plenty of time for thinking, a little time for writing, and some time to contemplate future plans. As yet, I haven't, but I don't regret that at all. We still have a week, and I dare say a few things may come around, but I think I'll need time to let all this marinate once I get back home. And yeah, you can't do something like this without it changing you. I'm really interested to see what's going to happen in Edinburgh next week. And I think either way it's going to be an incredible experience, an incredibly emotional experience, and one that has the potential to change the course of Scottish and British history. So just to be a small part of that is extremely humbling, and it's what I always wanted as a child. Everybody comes into this world and has some sense that there should be some kind of purpose. This is most certainly one of those purposes. Anyway, thank you for listening to the ramblings of a rambler, and yeah, perhaps I'll say a few words later on in the week, just before we've finished. Thank you very much.